Hi everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about after. So today the review of the movie is going to be very much different than the other ones that I did, because I wasn't able to judge this particular movie on the basis of 15 criterion that I made for myself. So I am going to dissect every character the best way that I can, and I'm going to talk about the problems in the story, the problems in the characters, the problems in the side characters, and everything else. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm wearing my glasses. I know you can see the reflection of the light, but I can't see anything on my laptop, so I'm just gonna have to do this. So what I wrote here is, so after is the honeymoon period of an emo guy who's abusive and doesn't know which direction he's headed, and a girl who's ambitious but is so desperate to be one of the cool kids. I know that this is a very, very unpopular opinion, blaming Tessa for most of the things, but I will be talking about how desperate Tessa is to be one of the cool kids when I'm going to be dissecting Tessa. So first of all, let's talk about the positive aspects of the movie, which are very, very less. So first of all, I liked the actors in the movie. I think they did a pretty good job. I also loved the chemistry of the couple. I could really, especially in the lake scene, I think they had great chemistry, and I really believed that they had this sexual tension between them. Sometimes the songs in the movie were fine. I liked it in the beginning. I think it was the first half of the movie that I actually liked the songs, but the rest of the second half of the movie, it started to get extremely annoying. Now we're going to be talking about Hardin, which is a very problematic character. I really think he was extremely underdeveloped. I like stereotypical bad boy, good girl kind of stories. I can go with it. As long as the execution is good. I really think that Hardin's, could have been made more relatable in a way if his backstory was done well, which was, I think it was very much butchered. I really think that Hardin was a very whiny character. He pouted all the time, and when things didn't go his way, let's talk about the problems that I have with Hardin, who I will be referring to Hardon throughout this video because I hate his name. The first thing that I hated about Hardon was the fact that his name sucked. Who in their right name would name their character Hardin? It sounds like Hardon, but you could have changed the name. Listen, no hate to Anna Todd. I think she did her thing and then she left. But the name sucked. The second one, I think, is a very stereotypical bad guy. The bad guy who doesn't believe in love and who thinks that
love is just a transaction.
Like, oh my god, it's so emo, it's so annoying, it's so, wannabe emo and wannabe rebel. I hated the Pride and Prejudice, discussion that they had in the class. I think it served no purpose whatsoever. I will never believe that, that Dick Hardon is Mr. Darcy and Tessa is Elizabeth. Listen, I am not a big fan of Pride and Prejudice, but you can't compare. You can't say that Hardon is Mr. Darcy and Tessa is Elizabeth, because they have their behavior and the way they are like miles apart. Because what happens in Pride and Prejudice does not happen in After. After is just a wannabe Pride and Prejudice. Listen, the thing is, I liked Pride and Prejudice. I liked the fact that, in the beginning, Elizabeth wasn't comfortable with Mr. Darcy and she refused him. It was a very sweet love story, I would say, right? right? But Hardon and Tessa was not sweet. That Pride and Prejudice scene was so jarring. It was so annoying. I watched this movie 2 times. Please send help. Okay, I'll try to be calm throughout the video. I'll try to be calm, but I don't think I'll be able to achieve that because this movie was a literal... It was so much, it was getting on me, still getting on my nerves just thinking about it. I'm sorry. Okay, so what happens here is that they talk about Pride and Prejudice, right?
Elizabeth Bennet needs to chill. She gave Darcy a way worse time than he deserved.
Are you saying that Darcy was not in love with Elizabeth?
Love is just a transaction. We're all hardwired to desire. We present the correct set of desirable traits, and boom. We can turn it on, and we can turn it off.
Yes.
Revolutionary feminist novel that I'd ever read. That a woman of that era would have the strength to reject Darcy when he treated her poorly.
It's a load. It was Darcy's very attitude that attracted Elizabeth to him.
Darcy's attitude was rude and mocking. I think that he was lucky to be with a woman with as much integrity as Elizabeth.
The only reason he even asked her to marry him was because she wouldn't stop throwing herself
Throwing
at him.
herself at him? He was pursuing her.
She's clearly not satisfied with her life and is looking for excitement wherever she can get it.
Well, I think that it's obviously all in his head that she had any feelings for him at all.
Well, there you have it.
Elizabeth Bennet needs to chill. Who talks like that? First of all. Second of all, the teacher actually entertains his whatever he said because the teacher, because the character, oh my god, which teacher would actually entertain that? Saying that Elizabeth was not in love with Darcy or whatever the fuck. After that, what happens is Tessa says, like I showed you in the video, Tessa says it's the most revolutionary feminist novel that she ever read, and I agree with that, right? And when she's explaining herself, he says,
It's a load.
which is just so annoying because I have faced this throughout my life. The heckling from boys, I have faced it in my school, in my high school. Even when I asked questions, I used to get laughed at. And trust me, if any so-called good girl is watching this, please, please, please do not go with a so-called bad guy because they're not worth your time. They're all dicks. Do not engage with them. They're dicks. You will find someone who's a lot better, who's very understanding, and who actually likes the fact that you're curious. All right? Okay. The third reason why I hate Hardon is because he abuses Tessa. I don't really think we can actually see physical abuse in the movie. Not exactly, but there are signs of abuse in the movie. For example, he says, don't believe everything I say. Don't believe everything I say. Which is extremely fucked up. Because if a guy tells you, don't believe everything I say, you should run for the hills, woman. Never, ever engage with that guy. You're not going to change him. You're not going to improve him. He is hopeless. He's unredeemable. He needs to go see a therapist. Just don't engage with him. The second reason why he abuses Tessa is because he goes on a nice date with Tessa, and after he goes on the nice date with Tessa in the lake, they have a really romantic time, and actually I liked it. I really saw that they had that, you know, sexual tension between each other. I could see that they really liked each other, and her friends come, and then he just flips. So before, he's like this.
Why do you have all those romance novels if you don't believe in love?
Who says I don't believe in love?
You did in Soto's class.
True. Maybe don't believe everything I say then.
2 seconds later.
But I don't date.
Which is very, very messed up. Just like I said, run for the hill, because he will mess with you like this in the future. He will keep on doing it, and you're not going to be able to change anything. And he beats up other guys. What happens is, you know, Tessa and her boyfriend, who is Noah, they go for the campfire thing, and Hardin sees them together, and because of the blow and, I don't know, suck and blow, whatever game is that, because of that, he starts beating up Zed or one of the other side characters, which I don't give a fuck about, and which is extremely messed up because it's very immature for a guy to beat up another guy because of a tiny thing. Okay, so don't take it out of context. What I mean, I understand that, you know, Hardin's friend was trying to coerce Tessa into playing the game, which was kind of a sexual game, I guess. But I was just trying to focus on the fact that, you know, Hardin should not be the one beating up the other guy. Noah was supposed to do it first. And second is the fact that Hardin, before he said that he doesn't date, but then he's really undecisive, and then he starts beating up the other guy because, you know, the other guy was being coercive. So I was just focusing on the part that Hardin just can't make up his mind, which is just so frustrating and very problematic as a character. He's not even emotionally attached to Tessa, right? He was clearly saying, I don't date, right? So why would you beat up the other person? It's so immature. Try to control your feelings, Hardin, please. The fourth thing is he makes Tessa break up with Noah and fight with her mom. Because of what Hardin does, and because of the dare that he has, he actually pretends to fall in love with Tessa, which actually makes Tessa break up with Noah, and has a fight with her mom, which actually makes her mom cut off Tessa from everything. And yeah, it is said that he buys an apartment for her because he has to take care of her, but who's gonna pay for her tuition and her food and her other stuff? Did he do that? So please, if a guy is trying to separate you from everybody else, this is very messed up, because he wants you to depend on only him, which is very, very fucked up. Please run, please. The fifth thing is he distracts Tessa from her studies. I would hate if a guy just distracted from my studies, because my studies are very, very important for me in our culture. You know, our education is of the utmost importance, and we are said that you need to have a good degree so that you can have a good life. Tessa, I say, is very ambitious for her life when Hardin isn't, and Hardin just messes up everything. He just does not let her study. Do not let anyone distract you from your studies, especially a guy. If a guy wants to distract you from your studies, leave him. The seventh problem is he actually can't communicate his problems with Tessa. He either whines or pouts or breaks things, which is extremely, extremely disturbing. So I'm just gonna show you a clip of what he does after, you know, he sees Noah and Tessa together.
What are you doing, man? Pardon.
And then he says, should you be with a perfect little boyfriend? By the way, people keep saying that his accent was really fake. I can't really say so. I guess the director is fucked up here. I don't know. The eighth is he looks at Tessa like this. The other reason why I hate Hardin is because of this dialogue.
You don't ever have to cover up. Not for me.
And this dialogue.
Have you never been touched before?
And this dialogue.
Maybe don't believe everything I say then.
And this dialogue.
I still can't believe it. That you're mine?
And this dialogue.
I don't deserve you.
The last reason why I hate Hardin is because after Tessa hears about what was going on in the end, he actually has the audacity of saying,
You said nothing could change the way you felt about me.
which is like manipulation, isn't it? Oh my god, please run away from this guy. Hardin is a dick, he's a dick. I can't stress this enough. He's a dick. What time is it? It's time to hate Tessa. Okay, so Tessa is a stereotypical good girl who's going to change the bad guy because she's just that fucking special. The first reason why I hate why I hated Tessa, and I still hate Tessa, is because she's trying way too hard to be one of the cool kids. If she didn't like the so-called cool kids, she would not have even gone to the party. She would have just kept to herself, or with her roommate, she would just say clearly, bitch, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be with your friends. I think they're nasty, something like that. But she didn't say that. She was very desperate to be one of the cool kids. I don't know if someone said this, but I can see her. I was one of the girls who wanted to be one of the cool kids. I was one of, you know, that kind of girl who wanted to change the bad guy, because we are fed this kind of information from media, from everywhere in my country, which is really messed up. So just don't say that it's completely Hard-On's fault. It's not just that person's fault, it's also Tessa, because I fucking hate the fact that she's a virgin. Why does every good girl has to be a virgin? She can still be an unvirgin and still be a really good person, right? As long as she doesn't go on a killing rampage, I guess. I know a lot of girls who aren't virgins and who are great people. Like, they have gone through so much shit in their lives and they're still trying to make their life turn around. This exactly should be the representation of a good girl, and not Tessa, who's a virgin and who wants to change the bad guy into the good one because she's just that fucking special, like I said. The other reason why I hate Tessa is because she cheats on her boyfriend, Noah. She just cheats on Noah because I don't know why. Oh my god, why is Hard-On so special? Because he's the bad guy and he is, I don't know. Why do you want to be with Hard-On so bad? I know Noah's a dick. You can just break up with him. Tell him, like, I don't like you, dude. You're boring or whatever. I don't give a shit. But you can say whatever, right? Just communicate with your boyfriend and then just say, I'm just not feeling it anymore. Break up with him and find another guy who actually respects you for who you are, right? Okay, the other reason why I don't like Tessa is because of the fact that she actually tries to change herself for Hard-On. Let me show you the clip of what happens. What happens in this clip is Tessa gets rejected by Hard-On because Hard-On says, I don't date, and then she goes back to her dorm, and then she opens her roommate's closet, and then she tries to see if she would look good sexy, or she's trying to do makeup and everything. If a guy ever makes you feel like this, never ever be with him. He is a shit person, just know that, because it's all on you. If you want to do makeup, it's your thing. If you don't want to do makeup, it's your thing, right? But if you never have the habit of doing makeup, and then that person kind of insinuates that, you're not good enough because you don't do makeup, you're not as glamorous as the other girls that I went out with, this is, a fucked up person. So you should leave him then and there. Do not ever stick with that guy. The other reason why I hate Tessa is because she actually thinks that she can fix the bad boy, which is very, very problematic. Girls and boys, whoever you are, if you are dating a very, very problematic, abusive person, then don't try to change that person. That person needs to see a therapist. You can tell that person you need to see a therapist. If that person says, no, I'm not going to see a therapist, just kick him out of your life, because you do not want to deal with that drama. I know girls who have been manipulated, who have been abused physically, mentally. I know those kinds of girls, and they went through shit because of those kinds of boyfriends. Leave him there and just move on with it. Move on with your life, and I'm sure you will find someone who actually respects you for who you are. Do not stick with that manipulative person, because it's just going to ruin you mentally, physically, emotionally. It's just going to drain you completely. The other reason why I hate Tessa is because she looks at Hard-On like this. The next reason why I hate Tessa is because she asks this to Hard-On after she goes to the lake with Hard-On.
Who do you love the most in the world?
Who the fuck asks that question to a guy you just, I guess, went out with? I mean, the mere fact that you're going out with a guy, to the lake, not going out, you're going with a guy to a lake, which looks very creepy and looks at you in a very creepy way, and you ask this question, it just means that you're really fucked in the head. The final reason why I hate Tessa is because of this scene. Why do you have all those romance novels if you don't believe in love? I mean, who decided to put this dialogue? Who says I don't believe in love? You did in Soda's class. I guess you're right. Maybe you don't believe everything I say. What kind of shit scene and shit dialogues are these? Oh my god. I can't believe I was a teenager once, because if I was a teenager, I would have loved this movie. I hate my teenage self. I'm sure we have all been in a certain point where we really, really, hate our teenage self, because we were so stupid back then. Now, I'm going to be talking about the problems in the story. So here, I think I'm not going to focus on plot holes, because I don't really care about plot holes as long as your movie execution is really good. So don't expect me to talk about plot holes. I'm just going to talk about the really unbelievable plot points in the movie, which just made me go absolutely crazy. Like I said, I watched this movie 2 times and it really messed up with my head. I was angry every 2 minutes. I couldn't believe that the characters were making this kind of decision, which is just, I don't know why, why this movie is available. I guess it's in Netflix. Okay, the first story plot point that I hated was playing Truth and Dare. Who plays Truth and Dare as adults? It's so stupid. Why would you do that?
Isn't this a kid's game?
Not the way we play.
Hey, Tessa. Truth or dare?
Truth. Craziest place you've had sex? Pass.
Why? It's an easy one.
Oh, kill me, please. They show none of the side characters. None of the side characters are likable except for Landon. I love Landon. I think Tessa should have dated Landon because Landon actually respected Tessa. The other side characters, actually even the main characters, were so fucking annoying. We're gonna be talking about side characters as well, so buckle up. The other plot point that I hated a lot was because I kind of started liking the roommate, right? She was fine in the beginning, like she talks about the book scene. I'm just gonna insert it here.
What's with all the old books? Who brings books to college?
Who reads?
Me, I guess. The bookish vibe, I like that.
And it was kind of awkward in the beginning when they met, and she kind of, I guess she's a little bit condescending towards her, but I really felt like she could have been written better and she could have been a good friend to Tessa, but that didn't happen. I especially loved it when Tessa went to her roommate and then she said, Noah and I broke up, and she was just so supportive. I really liked her. I really thought that she didn't know that Hardon had this so-called dare that he had to fulfill, that he was, Hardon said something like, here's a dare, I'm gonna make her fall in love with me, blah blah blah. I really thought that she wasn't a part of it. When in the end I heard that she was a part of it, really, really broke my heart, because I was actually starting to like the roommate. The other plot point that I hated, like I said before, was the fact that Hardon just flips after going on a romantic date with Tessa, and then he says,
But I don't date.
which is so fucking annoying. I hated the library scene where Hardon closes the doors of the library and they're just staying there. Hardon's reading to Tessa and everything. What the fuck was that for? It served no purpose. I didn't feel some sort of a connection to them, or I didn't feel like they had, a romantic thing. Nothing like that. It was just like, oh, they're just getting so adventurous by tricking the security guard. In the end, the teacher, congratulations, you all passed. All the best to you. Applaud for yourselves. La 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 la. Congratulations, congratulations. Kind of thing. She just gives the paper that Hardon submitted to Tessa. Which teacher encourages that? If it was in my school, that guy would have gotten 2-3 really loud slaps. Which is bad. Like, he can write about whatever he wants, but the teacher should not be entertaining it. The teacher sucks. There are, I guess, too many montages in this movie, especially in the second half, which really annoyed me. I mean, Montages can be done really well, like in To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I think the first one, right? The montages were done so well. I love that movie, absolutely love it. But I think in After, it's done in a very lazy way just to show that they're going through something. They just didn't want to spend a lot of time in character development. Hardon's friends, they actually force Tessa to drink, especially Molly, when she says this.
Oh my God, Steph, where'd you find this girl?
Who talks like this? I hate you, Molly. I hate you. I'm gonna destroy you to fucking pieces. And then she decides to drink because Molly says, oh my God, Steph, where did you get this girl?
Oh my God, Steph, where'd you find this girl?
No one's talking to you.
Oh.
She drinks because of that. Oh my God. Tessa, get your life together. Please start thinking clearly. I heard that Tessa in the books, she was even more annoying and she was very misogynistic. I've not read the books. I'm not gonna waste my time on those books. So Tessa, get your life together. Stop being misogynistic and stop trying to be one of the cool kids. The last one is, how come Tessa did not make any other friends? Landon was kind of a friend, but I never saw them hang out. She was only talking about Hardon when she was with Landon. Land on me. Anyways, I think there was only one instance where they were talking about the class, but apart from that, they're just talking about Hardon. I mean, I would have loved to see the friendship between Tessa and Landon. I think they would have been great friends, and Landon would have been extremely supportive. But I guess that just didn't happen. I mean, why would you want to watch good movies? Why would you want to watch good love stories? Am I right? What time is it? First of all, we're going to talk about Tessa's mom. I think Tessa's mom was extremely controlling. Considering the fact that she raised only one child, question mark, I understand that she wanted to be very controlling, and she actually saw from the very beginning that Hardon was a dick, which I very much admire. So when it comes to Tessa's mom, I guess I like her, 50%. Okay, now let's talk about Molly. I hate Molly because of this scene.
Are you a virgin?
I hate this bitch. I want her to die. And if there is a girl in this world who's like Molly, I want you to die as well. I'm just kidding. Don't die. You need a therapist. I mean, I get it. You wanted to have a villain of some sort, but why so shallow like Molly? Noah. Oh my God, Noah. He had no chemistry with Tessa whatsoever. He didn't seem like her boyfriend. He seemed like her brother. I hate him. I really hate Noah because of these scenes.
Like, I don't know.
So, you're at a party. Have you been drinking?
I just had one drink.
Okay, so you go to college and now you drink. That's really great, Tessa.
Noah, can you not be so, like...
So, like what? I'm not the one who's out partying right now.
Just forget it.
Tessa?
Okay, so I think I am kind of done with the recording. What time is it? Bye-bye.